Welcome.
I greet you in the name of Jesus. I'm happy to be with you in this morning. So now we are going to start our meetings in this first term to look about how the life of school is. Okay? So now here we have the different items we are going to discuss on, and then I encourage you to be involved in order to help our schools to improve their performance and how they work. Okay? So then here we have the 6 items. The 6 items, the first one here we have the student attendance and enrollment. The student attendance and enrollments, it is concerned for the students and the teachers who have the roles for helping the students. So you have to work with your students to help them to make their registration. Okay? So you have to make sure that those learners already they have registered. Okay? Then after, any problems which you will meet or you have met in registration or the students' enrollments, you have to communicate with me, right? Another things we can talk about in this item, we have to consider the numbers of students who registered in class by class. Okay?
Yes.
And then you have to arrange those learners according the class size you have, and then you have to make sure those class they have already registered. Okay? Then the registration of the students will meet with the students I have on my system. Okay? Another issues I think you have meted in these enrollments, you have to request the students to give you all full identification in their registration. Okay? I think it is what I have to inform you or to tell you about the enrollments of the students. Anyone who met with problems or anyone who have problem about the student registration or the students enrollment can raise it, and then we take the solution about it. There isn't any problem about the students enrollment.
Yes, there is a point I needed to add about those attendance. It is rated in when we get the attendance list, those notebooks. Those notebooks you can use to write the name of. As we know, every teacher has to have that document. Until now, we don't have those documents. We can fulfill those numbers of students if it can possible. Due to there is some class which have a large number, so the notebooks, all those attendance document teacher should have. For me, in my class, it have been finished. So I am requesting to give me others, so that those who are not registered, I can register those one. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your questions. The solution is you have to make sure that all the students already have registered. As you know, I have given you the co-register. Do you know co-register?
Yes.
The co-register, it is the teacher documents that they can use to register their learners and to know the learner is absent or he is present.
Yeah.
Okay? Then the co-register, if full, you have to request another co-register, and then you start another the papers, and then you start to write the students. Don't take the co-register and then you have to use it to co-register instead of using the one register. If the one register must have the 30 students, let us take an example. But when the students, they already overall the 13 students, so you have to request another's, and then after you register them. Okay? What I have the co-register on my office. After these meetings, you have to come on my office. I will give you another co-register. I think you have understand what I have said. Right?
Right.
Anyone who have any problem about the registration of students and enrollment?
So another problem I have in these points is that in my class I have students who have not come, who have taken a long time without coming at school. I don't know what to do. He spent 3 months. So I need what to do in this meeting so that you can take the decisions to that student. Thanks.
So the advice I can suggest, I will request our leaders to help us to make a campaigner to search those learners who already have not come to school. Okay? So I will organize the campaigner to go to see those learners who are not come to school. I think it is
Yes.
the right answer we can take. So the next items, we have the teacher performance and evaluation. So when you say the teacher performance and evaluation, you have to understand how the student can perform. If the students have not performed well, already the teachers already have failed. Okay? So the performance of the teachers, you have to consider the students' performance. And also when we say evaluations, the evaluations, you have to assess the learner, and then you make sure what you have evaluated is you have to follow. Our meetings, we have seen the first items, and also we are going to see the second item. The second items, we have teacher performance and evaluation. The teacher performance and evaluations, you have to consider the performance of students. When we are going to evaluate the teacher performance, we consider the performance of students, because the performance of the teacher comes from the performance of students. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Then, the performance of the teacher, you have to use you have to complete the teacher documents or pedagogical document. If you have not used properly the pedagogical documents, already the performance of the teacher will not be achieved. Okay? You have to use properly your pedagogical document. If the teacher they use their proper pedagogical documents, for example, we have class diary, we have call register, we have marks records, and so on. Those documents you have to use as it is. Okay? We have 12 pedagogical documents. When you will come to see what you are going to do or what you have to do in your teaching and learning, I will consider those documents I have mentioned. You have to pay attention this point, okay? The education focus on the pedagogical document. If you have not prepared the lesson plan, already you fail to teach. You understand? Okay, you have to make sure those pedagogical documents as the focal area of teaching and learning in education. In order to get or in order to succeed, you have to use those documents. Let us to see about the evaluation. You evaluate what you have done. If you are going to evaluate, there is some key point to consider. I think you know the performance appraisal. Do you know performance appraisal? When you say the performance appraisal, it is how the teacher can perform in order to give the bonus. Do you know bonus? The bonus comes from what you call what you have done according your performance as the evaluation of the teacher. We have the students there at school or in your class. He or she is your client. Do you know the client?
Yes.
You have to care them. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, you have to care them. Even the learners, they have bad behavior. You have to care because he or she is our client. You understand? That's why you have to focus on the performance of the students. We are here to help our students to perform those subjects we have in our curriculum. Then after, you have to use the curriculum because the curriculums guide the teachers what they have to teach. Okay? You have to use the curriculum. When you are preparing pedagogical documents, when you are going to prepare the lesson plan, you are going to prepare the scheme of work, you have to use curriculum, or you have to use a syllabus. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you have to make sure those things I have mentioned to take as serious because it is the main points or the main item to consider when you are here in this school. Okay? As the teacher who works in GS Gahini, you have to make sure the GS Gahini will success more than another school. Okay, you have to compare another school, how they work. What I wish this that our schools to perform well, better than another school. Do you understand? So those objectives or those the wishes we have will be achieved through the performance of a teacher and evaluation. You understand?
Yes.
So you have to make sure the things which is included in performance and evaluation of the teacher, you have to feel it, and then it will be better, and our school will be what will be achieve their goals and objectives. Then after, we can go another items. If there is no one who have problem about the teacher performance and evaluations, we can to go to the next item.
Thank you. Before I go on another items, I have the problem concerning this point as teacher performance and evaluation. Yes, I know in order the students to perform well, they depend on the performance of teacher and the students. But still now we have the problem in my class. I have some students. First I have 15 students, but at 20 students, when I give them some homework or assessment, they cannot perform. They come next day without do it. What can I do?
Okay, thank you for your good question. What you have to do, you have to be serious your work, okay?
Yes.
Do you know if the teacher they work what they have to do to mean that the student will be absent, okay? You have to make sure if you have given them a homework, you have to follow them. The next day, when he or she come without doing it, you have to make sure and then to react about what the student what they have done, okay?
Yes.
And also, when you check where why not the student did not done your homework, you have to ask why don't you do this, why don't you do this, and then you make decision. You can take a piece of paper and then you write a letter to their parents, okay? Or you can invite his or her parents, okay? And then you make a conversation for her parents or their parents, okay?
Yes.
Then after the conversation between the parents and the students, you will see what you have to do, okay? If you need the power of the teacher, you come my office and then I will help you. If you want the letter to give their parents or their guardians, you have to visit my office, and then I'm ready to sign the letter to give your students who have the misbehavior for doing a homework. This is what I have to tell you about that problem for your student. Okay? You, mister?
Another point I can add here, as you know, a teacher is always a runner. As the teacher is always a learner, what I can say here, it is related to the teacher's document. When we are here as the teacher in GS Gahini, but you can find that I don't know I have no idea about how to complete the teacher's document. As the teacher, you are allowed to ask your colleague so that he can help you to fulfill you can fulfill that teacher's document. So another question I have is what the marks as I am teacher I can get so that I can have that good bonus. Thanks.
About your, thank you for your advice about the compliment, how the teachers can complete their document. So let me answer your question about the how the teacher can get a bonus or the big bonus about their performance. They have been what you call, they have been evaluated. Okay? When the teacher they got 70% marks, okay? There is some bonus they will get, okay? And also when the teacher they got 8 marks, okay? Above the 18 marks. 80 marks, okay? They will got 5 francs percent. Rather than the teacher who got the 7%. The teacher who got the 70%, he or she will get 3% francs, okay? According to their net salary. Do you understand?
Yes.
So those, we have 2 ranges. If the teacher they got below 70%, already they will be fair. They have been failed. Okay? So you have to make sure that, or I wish every teachers to have the marks above 70%. Because when the teacher got below 70%, already failed. To mean their students, they are poor. Okay? Do you understand? So you have to make sure that you have performance above 70. I think it is understandable.
Yes.
So let us to go to the next item. Okay? The next item, we have the school infrastructure and maintenance. Infrastructure and maintenance. So when we say the school infrastructure, we have different activities in our school as a GS Gahini. Here in our GS Gahini, we have laboratory, we have staff room, block, we have the school or rooms which is used for studying, okay? And also we have smart classroom. Do you know smart classroom? Okay, those are infrastructure we have in our school. So what we can request you have to use properly those infrastructure we have in our school, because we have different learners, but those learners they have different behaviors. The learners can destroy different materials. Okay,
Yes.
you have to make sure, or you have to manage those behavior of students, because the students, they are not responsible to maintain or to use properly those infrastructure, because the students, they don't know the costs they needed to build those infrastructure. So as a teacher, as a team, you have to manage them in order to have a good infrastructure. So let us to focus on about smart classroom. When we say the smart classroom, I think some of them, they know how to use the classroom, the smart classroom. Okay, the smart classrooms is the room where the learner or the teachers can use for exploring different information about the subject. You can use the classroom to prepare your lesson. You can use the classroom for teaching. You can use the classroom to go to the internet, because in our classroom, our smart classroom, there we have electronic device. Okay, you have the computer, you have the projector. It is your opportunity to use it in order to help you to achieve your objective. You understand?
Yes.
So the smart classroom, it is very important in our school. If you meet with challenge in your subject, you have to visit. I encourage every teacher to visit our smart classroom, because our smart classroom, they have everything. We have the internet there, we have the computer there, we have the projector there. Those materials can help you to make exploration about your subject, because when you meet the challenge in your subject, let us take an example. When you are in class, you are teaching, for example, biology, and also you are going to teach cell. Do you know cell? So when you say the cell, you are going to teach cell. You can ask yourself, how can I explain the cell to your students? Okay, the cell, as you know, the cell, it is not tangible. You have to use videos. Okay, different videos. You have to use different sources in order to show your learner what is a cell. And also, you can use your smart classroom, because the smart classroom is there for you. It's there for students. It's not there for the master. You have to use it properly, right? I think everyone, they have to understand what you call the smart classroom is. Okay? The smart classroom, you have to manage well, because the classrooms, it can also help everyone and each other to have the new knowledge, right? So I encourage every teachers to know how to use the classroom. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So then, anyone who have an addition about in our smart classroom, you have to add on, and then you continue the next item.
We can not reach to this point without adding the new one. I'm wondering that if there is the training in this school. As we know, this school, it is the first one to be operating. I need to know if there is a training to those teachers who will need to use it a much time. For example, I needed to know if there is some trainings to those teachers who will use it, those smart classroom, in much time. For example, if the school can take all the rep, they can take some teachers, for instance, to those teachers who teaches the science in our school, to go to take some point how they can use it, how can they use it well, a smart classroom effectively. So if there is the training, you can tell us, or if there is a suggestion to the teacher, so that they can take those training. So is what I want to know.
You have asked a good question. The question you have asked, I guess, what I think, I will try myself